This is kind of the second Robin, right, that we've seen today? Well, I think you played a Robin, right? Haven't you before?
I've never played Robin.
No?
No.
A Nightwing?
Flash?
No, just the Flash.
Flash? That's
Yeah.
what it was? Okay.
Yeah.
And I remember we were fortunate enough to talk to you once before, and you had a Flash shirt on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's with
That's
Jimmy
where
O'Connell
you go.
and
Yeah, that's where we remember you. Okay.
Hey, yeah, everyone
Well,
out there, right? Okay.
That's right, I remember that now. So tell us about playing Green Arrow.
Yeah, Oliver Queen.
Yeah, Oliver Queen.
It was great. It was an opportunity to do a completely new take on this guy. The fact that it's an Elseworld story, set in a different time period, this kind of Lovecraftian world that the story takes place in, gave us an opportunity to find an accent that places this guy in that time. And the way that they wrote him, his vocabulary is very period appropriate, more so than really any of the other characters in the movie. So, Oliver really gives the film its grounding in time, I think. And so finding that accent to go along with those words was really key to finding who this guy was and building that foundation, so then we could play and we could be like, all right, now what if he's wasted? And like, right? It's like, cool. Yeah, now put him at the piano and sing a song. It's like great. Now what if he passed out?
That's the time where you get really method with it, right?
Yes. Unfortunately, I had to drive home. So.
Okay.
Chris, Oliver Queen, for decades has had a reputation as a bit of a womanizer. Is that aspect of Oliver in this story that you get to play, or is Oliver on his best behavior?
Well, he's definitely not on his best behavior, but he doesn't do any womanizing in this. I think his mind and his heart is really full in this story. He's got a big secret that is just bursting to come out, and he's terrified of it coming out. So his mind is really occupied with that. A pleasant surprise for me seeing the movie is the relationship between Kylie and Oliver. It's a really nice relationship. I think he's, she sees him and thinks he's like, who's this like crazy old man? But he comes to really respect her when she surprises him, near the end of his story, so that was a pleasant surprise for me. Considering the fact that we'd never met until today, It's like, it was nice.
Going more of a comparison more than anything, though. So, who was maybe more fun, or the differences between playing the Flash and Green Arrow?
The Flash in most of those movies, not all of them, but most of those movies, he's kind of the comedic relief, which is fun. And I was a big Flash fan growing up because I loved the Justice League cartoons as a kid. So that has a special place in my heart. As a performing challenge, this was more challenging, in a single film, because we had to find those moments of comedy, but we also very quickly go to very real, emotional, vulnerable places, and it has to. Both of those things has to come from the same emotional core, kind of, because the drinking is all the hiding and the trying to stop this volcano that's coming out, and then it all comes out. It's emotion, So as an acting challenge, this was really a good one.
You had to go dark for a minute, huh?
Yeah, you do. There's a weight on him, he feels the weight of what his dad did, and is struggling with it, and is trying to overcome it and set that right.
What were your? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah.
Do
Go
you
ahead.
see Oliver as very vulnerable in this story, and how does he view Batman?
He's like Batman or Bruce.
Both.
Because he loves Bruce, and he wants to protect him. He's been protecting him you know, all of this time from the truth. And there's it's beautiful when he can't. There's a really it's a really telling, it's kind of a beautiful reveal about their relationship and his feelings towards him. It's really nice.
I was a huge fan of the previous kind of Justice League world.
Yeah.
That ended, I guess.
Yeah.
Is there something about kind of where you are in your life today that you're kind of more ready to play the Green Arrow and Oliver Queen, who just seems to have more grown-up issues, more problems than you could have done back then? Because Flash is a different character, different brightness, and could you have swapped these characters and played them at different times in your life?
I don't know. It's impossible to know, right?
Yeah.
I think, Oliver Queen in this movie is an older guy, which I am becoming with each passing day.
It's a little depressing.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Could be worse. Could not be here. So yeah, I mean, there's things that certainly there's things that you can relate. You can relate to characters that have lived experience that are similar to yours. Now, my lived experience is very different than Oliver Queen. However, just being in the ballpark of that age range, you can certainly understand emotionally some of that stuff. The stuff with your parents, we see our parents get older, get into real old age, and how that feels emotionally, and that kind of, and then your parents pass away, and that's that kind of stuff. You can imagine it when you're younger, and sure, you can play it, but it's different if you've lived it. So yeah.
Do you approach an animated movie differently? How would you approach Lincoln Lawyer as far as that character when it's being live action?
Sure. I mean, the process of doing it, just the technical process, is just night and day different. I recorded all of my lines for this movie in probably an hour and a half. Right, whereas the Lincoln Lawyer is 8 days for every episode, right? It just takes drastically more time to do the live action stuff for us. Now, the wonderful thing about these animated movies is that we get all the credit for all.
They got their own makeup.
Because there's hundreds of people working on this movie, really amazingly talented, creative people putting in hundreds of hours of work, thousands of hours of work to make this movie happen. The voice actors are just a very small, an incredibly small part of the process when you break it up by time, right? So yeah, very different. And but as far as creating the acting of it, it's all pretend, right? So the most important thing is having a safe place, and working with Wes, you always feel safe to just go and try things and fail and try something different and figure it out. Very supportive, and so it makes for a good work environment, and then I think makes for good work.
Do you have a character that you could pick anybody that you'd want to play that you haven't got to play yet?
Listen, man, I keep pitching the Wonder Twins movie, right? Come on, there has got to be, right? A really fun, Wonder Twins movie.
Why hasn't it been done?
I don't.
They were going to do a live action.
All right, that's it.
They
We're
were?
starting a petition.
Who should we rage tweet when we
Right?
when we leave here?
The ideal twin that you would want to play the other.
Well, Toddy said that she's down.
Oh, that would be perfect.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Right?
All right.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Thanks, man.
Oh my God.
Appreciate it.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
thank you
much.
so
It was
much.
so nice meeting you.